Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Kiran Ghosh. So we started this reading this book for different PGT TGT examinations in geography, and after 10 days we have another exam, that is BPSC TRE3. So if you are preparing for that and for revision, you can use this book because it is a very comprehensive book. So we have already covered 2 chapters of the book, and today we will start about the climate. Okay, so let's start. So that is chapter 3. So let me reach there. And okay, so start from here, the climate. And I think it is a comprehensive concept, so that's why that chapter name is so, like, all parts of the factors etc are covered. Okay, so climate refers to the sum total of weather conditions and variations over a large area for a long period of time, more than 30 years. Weather refers to the state of the atmosphere over an area at any point of time. The elements of weather and climate are the same: temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind, humidity, and precipitation. You may have observed that the weather conditions fluctuate very often, even within a day. But there is some common pattern over a few weeks or months, that is, days are cool or hot, windy or calm, cloudy or bright, and wet or dry. On the basis of the generalized monthly atmospheric conditions, the year is divided into seasons such as winter, summer, or rainy seasons. During the summer season, the desert area of Rajasthan witnessed 50-degree temperature, whereas Pahalgam sector of Jammu and Kashmir has 20 degrees Celsius temperature during winter nights. Dar sector of Jammu and Kashmir witnessed minus 45 degrees Celsius temperature, whereas Thiruvananthapuram has 20 degrees Celsius. Rainfall also varies in terms of quantity and distribution. In the regions of Himalaya, rainfall is in the form of snowy balls, whereas in the rest of part of India it is a general rain. Again, annual rainfall varies from 400 degrees Celsius in the Meghalaya to 10 degrees Celsius in Ladakh. And रेनफॉल बोल रहा है, फिर डिग्री सेल्सियस क्यों बोल रहा है भाई? सेंटीमीटर होगा ना, तो कुछ गलत है शायद. वेस्ट राजस्थान, इन द कोस्टल एरिया द वेरिएशन ऑफ रेनफॉल इज लेस, whereas in the inner part of country the seasonal variation is more. Accordingly, the Indians show their unity in diversity in terms of food, clothing, housing, and culture. So factors determining the climate of India. India's climate is controlled by a number of factors which can be broadly divided into two groups: factors related to location and relief, and factors related to air pressure and winds. Factors related to location and relief. Latitude. You know that the Tropic of Cancer passes through the central part of India in east-west direction. This northern part of India lies in the subtropical and temperate zone, and the part lying south of the Tropic of Cancer falls in the tropical zone. The tropical zone, being nearer to the equator, experiences high temperatures throughout the year with small daily and annual range. Area north of the Tropic of Cancer, being away from the equator, experiences extreme climate with high daily and annual range of temperature. The Himalayan mountains, the towering mountain chain, provides an invincible shield to protect the subcontinent from the cold northern winds. The Himalayas also trap the monsoon winds, forcing them to shed their moisture within the subcontinent. Distribution of land and water. India is flanked by the Indian Ocean on three sides in the south and girdled by a high and continuous mountain wall in the north. As compared to the landmass, water heats up or cools down slowly. This differential heating of land and sea creates different air pressure zones in different seasons in and around the Indian subcontinent. Difference in air pressure causes reversal in the direction of monsoon winds. Distance from the sea. With a long coastline, large coastal areas have an equable climate. Areas in the interior of India are far away from the moderating influence of the sea. Such areas have extremes of climate. That is why the people of Mumbai and the Konkan coast have hardly any idea of extremes of temperature and the seasonal rhythm of weather. On the other hand, the seasonal contrast in weather at places in the interior of the country such as Delhi, Kanpur, and Amritsar affect the entire sphere of life. Altitude. Temperature decreases with height due to thin air. Places in the mountain are cooler than places on the plains. For example, Agra and Darjeeling are located on the same latitude, but temperature of January in Agra is 16 degrees Celsius, whereas it is only 4 degrees Celsius in Darjeeling. Relief. The physiography of relief of India also affects the temperature, air pressure, direction and speed of wind, and the amount and distribution of rainfall. The windward sides of Western Ghats and Assam receive high rainfall during June to September, whereas the southern plateau remains dry to its leeward situation along the Western Ghats. Factors related to air pressure and wind. To understand the differences in local climates of India, we need to understand the mechanism of the following three factors: distribution of air pressure and winds on the surface of the earth, upper air circulation caused by factors controlling global weather, and the inflow of different air masses and jet streams, inflow of western cyclones generally known as disturbances during the winter season, and tropical depressions during the southwest monsoon period into India, creating weather conditions favorable to rainfall. The mechanism of these three factors can be understood with reference to winter and summer seasons of the year separately. Mechanism of weather in the winter season. Surface pressure and winds. In winter months, the weather conditions over India are generally influenced by the distribution of pressure in Central and Western Asia, a high pressure center in the region lying to the north of the Himalayas during winter. This center of high pressure gives rise to the flow of air at the low level from the north towards the Indian subcontinent south of the mountain range. The surface winds blowing out of the high pressure center over Central Asia reach India in the form of a dry continental air mass. These continental winds come in contact with trade winds over northwestern India. The position of this contact zone is not, however, stable. Occasionally, it may shift its position as far east as the Middle Ganga Valley, with the result that whole of northwestern and northern India up to the Middle Ganga Valley comes under the influence of dry northwestern winds. Jet stream and upper air circulation. The pattern of air circulation discussed above is witnessed only at the lower level of the jet atmosphere near the surface of the earth. Higher up in the lower troposphere, about 3 km above the surface of the earth, a different pattern of air circulation is observed. The variations in the atmospheric pressure closer to the surface of the earth have no role to play in the making of upper air circulation. All of the western and central Asia remains under the influence of westerly winds along the altitude of 9 to 13 km from west to east. These winds blow across the Asian continent at latitudes north of the Himalayas roughly parallel to the Tibetan highlands. These are known as jet streams. Tibetan highlands act as a barrier in the path of the jet streams. As a result, jet streams get bifurcated. One of its branches blows to the north of the Tibetan highlands, while the southern branch blows in an eastward direction. South of the Himalayas, it has its mean position at 25 degree north in February at 200 to 300 millibar level. It is believed that this southern branch of the jet stream exercises an important influence on the winter weather in India. Western cyclonic disturbances and tropical cyclones. देखो यहाँ पर लिखा गया है जेट स्ट्रीम के बारे में, बट कल जो मद्रासा स्कूल सर्विस कमीशन का क्वेश्चन पेपर था वहाँ पर ये पूछा गया था कि कौन सी जेट स्ट्रीम, मतलब डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ जेट स्ट्रीम्स है ना, तो कौन सी जेट स्ट्रीम इंडियन मानसून को सबसे ज़्यादा इन्फ्लुएंस करता है, तो उसके बारे में यहाँ पर मेंशन नहीं किया गया। देखो तो बुक्स ऐसे ही लिखा जा रहा है, इतना ही मतलब सुपरफिशियली ऊपर से इन्फॉर्मेशन को दिया जाता है और डिटेल चीज़ों को कवर नहीं किया जाता है। इसलिए हम जब इसी बुक को पढ़ के जाते हैं एग्जाम में तो क्वेश्चन बनता नहीं, वहाँ से हम कन्फ्यूज हो जाते हैं। Western cyclonic disturbance and tropical cyclones. The western cyclone disturbances which enter the Indian subcontinent from the west and the northwest during the winter months originate over the Mediterranean Sea and are brought into India by the westerly jet stream. An increase in the prevailing night temperature generally indicates an advance in the arrival of these cyclones disturbances. Tropical cyclones originate over the Bay of Bengal and the Indian Ocean. These tropical cyclones have very high wind velocity and heavy rainfall and hit the Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Odisha coast. ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन कहाँ को हिट करता है? तमिलनाडु, आंध्र प्रदेश एंड उड़ीसा कोस्ट को। Most of these cyclones are very destructive due to high wind velocity and torrential rain that accompanies it. ठीक है। Now intertropical convergence zone. So the intertropical convergence zone is a low pressure zone located at the equator where trade winds converge, and so it is a zone where air tends to ascend. In July, the ITCZ is located around 20° north latitudes over the Gangetic Plain, sometimes called the monsoon trough. This monsoon trough encourages the development of thermal low over north and northwest India. देखो, जब ये याद रखने वाली बात है कि इंटर ट्रॉपिकल कन्वर्जेंस जोन ना तो नॉर्थन हेमिस्फीयर में है ना ही साउदर्न हेमिस्फीयर में है, इक्वेटर में लोकेटेड है। बट हमारे यहाँ पर जब समर आता है जुलाई में, ये 20° नॉर्थ पे चले आते हैं, तो उसके कारण अरेबियन एंड बे ऑफ बंगाल से जो मॉइस्ट एयर है वो अट्रैक्ट होता है और उसी कारण हमारे यहाँ पर बारिश होता है। ड्यू टू द शिफ्ट ऑफ ITCZ, द ट्रेड winds ऑफ द साउदर्न हेमिस्फीयर क्रॉस द इक्वेटर बिटवीन 40° ईस्ट एंड 60° ईस्ट longitudes and start blowing from southwest to northeast due to the Coriolis force. It becomes southwest monsoon. In winter, the ITCZ moves southward and so the reversal of winds from northeast to south and southwest takes place. They are called northeast monsoons, जो कि अभी चल रहा है। Okay. Now, mechanism of weather in the सॉरी अभी चल रहा है, क्यों बोल दिया मैंने, नॉर्थ ईस्ट मानसून चला गया ना, फिर से आएगा साउथ वेस्ट मानसून। चलो ठीक है। नाउ मैकेनिज्म ऑफ वेदर इन द समर सीजन। सो समर सीजन में क्या होती है कि सरफेस प्रेशर एंड विंड्स एज द समर सेट्स इन एंड द सन शिफ्ट्स नॉर्थवर्ड्स, the wind circulation over the subcontinent undergoes a complete reversal at both the lower as well as the upper levels. By the middle of July, the low pressure belt nearer the surface, termed as intertropical convergence zone, shifts northwards roughly parallel to the Himalayas between 20° and 25° north. By this time, the westerly jet stream withdraws from the Indian region. In fact, meteorologists have found an interrelationship between the northward shift of the equatorial trough and the withdrawal of the westerly jet stream from over the North Indian plain. It is generally believed that there is a cause and effect relationship between the two. The ITCZ being a zone of low pressure attracts inflow of winds from different directions. The maritime tropical air mass from the southern hemisphere, after crossing the equator, rushes to the low pressure area in the general southwesterly direction. It is this moist air current which is popularly known as the southwest monsoon. Jet stream and upper air circulation. The pattern of pressure and winds as mentioned above is formed only at the level of the atmosphere. An easterly jet stream flows over the southern part of the peninsula in June and has a maximum speed of 90 km per hour. In August, it is confined to 15° north latitude, and in September up to 22° north latitude. The easterlies normally do not extend to the north of 30° north latitude in the upper atmosphere. Easterly jet stream and tropical cyclones. The easterly jet stream steers the tropical depressions into India. These depressions play a significant role in the distribution of monsoon rainfall over the Indian subcontinent. The tracks of these depressions are the areas of highest rainfall in India. The frequency at which these depressions visit India, their direction and intensity all go a long way in determining the rainfall pattern during the southwest monsoon period. The nature of Indian monsoon. Monsoon is a familiar, though a little known climatic phenomenon. Despite the observations spread over centuries, the monsoon continues to puzzle the scientists. Many attempts have been made to discover the exact nature and causation of monsoon, but so far no single theory has been able to explain the monsoon fully. A real breakthrough has come recently. तो अब ये जीस्ट दे रहा है तो ये सब क्यों दे रहे हो भाई तुम? A real systematic study of the causes of rainfall in the South Asian region helped to understand the causes and salient features of the monsoon, particularly some of its important aspects such as the onset of the monsoon, rain-bearing system, its tropical cyclones and the relationship between their frequency and distribution of monsoon rainfall, break in the monsoon. ठीक है, तो ये stages है, अच्छा aspects है। देखते हैं onset of the monsoon. Towards the end of the 19th century, it was believed that the differential heating of land and sea during the summer months is the mechanism which set the stage for the monsoon winds or drift towards the subcontinent. During April and May, when the sun shines vertically over the Tropic of Cancer, the large landmass in the north of Indian Ocean gets intensely heated. This causes the formation of an intense low pressure in the northwestern part of the subcontinent. Since the pressure in the Indian Ocean in the south of the landmass is high as water gets heated slowly, the low attracts the trades across the equator. These conditions help in the northward shift in the position of the ITCZ. The southwest monsoon may thus be seen as a continuation of the southeast trades deflected towards the Indian subcontinent after crossing the equator. These winds cross the equator between 40° east and 60° east longitude. तो ये भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि देखो याद रखना कि इन्फॉर्मेशन जो हमारा साउथ वेस्ट मानसून जिसको बोलते हैं एक्चुअली 40 डिग्री एंड 60 डिग्री ईस्ट के अंदर वो फ्लो होता है, वहाँ पर डिफ्लेक्ट होता है। द शिफ्ट इन द पोजिशन ऑफ द ITCZ इज ऑल्सो रिलेटेड टू द फेनोमेनन of the withdrawal of the westerly jet stream from the position over the North Indian plain south of the Himalayas. The easterly jet stream sets in along 15 degree north latitude only to easterly jet stream is held responsible for the burst of the monsoon in India. The easterly jet stream sets in along 15 degree north latitude only after the western jet stream has withdrawn itself from the region. This easterly jet stream is held responsible for the burst of the monsoon in India. Entry of monsoon into India. The southwest monsoon sets in over the Kerala coast by 1st June. तो डेट भी इंपॉर्टेंट है कि कब स्टार्ट होती है, तो 1 जून स्टार्ट हो जाती है केरला में एंड मूव स्विफ्टली टू रीच मुंबई एंड कोलकाता बिटवीन 10th एंड 13th जून एंड कोलकाता तक आ जाते हैं कब तक, 13th जून तक. बाई मिड जुलाई साउथ वेस्ट मानसून एनगल्फ्स द एंटायर सब कॉन्टिनेंट एंड बाई मिड जुलाई पूरा इंडिया में ये मानसून छा जाता है. तो 1 जून से स्टार्ट हुआ, 13 तक कोलकाता में आ गए या फिर 15 मान सकते हो, और पूरा मिड जुलाई तक मतलब 15 जून से 15 जुलाई तक के अंदर पूरा इंडिया में मानसून चल रहा है. रेन बेयरिंग सिस्टम एंड रेनफॉल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. देयर सिम्स टू बी 2 रेन बेयरिंग सिस्टम्स इन इंडिया. फर्स्ट ओरिजिनेट इन द बे ऑफ बंगाल causing rainfall over the plains of North India. Second is the Arabian Sea current of the southwest monsoon which brings rain to the west coast of India. Much of the rainfall along the western Ghats is orographic as the moist air is obstructed and forced to rise along the Ghats. The intensity of rainfall over the west coast of India is however related to 2 factors: the offshore meteorological conditions, the position of the equatorial jet stream along the eastern coast of Africa. The frequency of the tropical depressions originating from the Bay of Bengal varies from year to year. Their paths over India are mainly determined by the position of ITCZ, which is generally termed as the monsoon trough. As the axis of the monsoon trough oscillates, there are fluctuations in the track and direction of these depressions, and the intensity and the amount of rainfall vary from year to year. The rain, which comes in spells, displays a declining trend from west to east over the west coast and from the southeast towards the northwest over the North Indian plain and the northern part of the peninsula. El Nino and the Indian monsoon. El Nino is a complex weather system that appears once every 3 to 7 years, bringing drought, floods, and other weather extremes to different parts of the world. The system involves oceanic and atmospheric phenomena with the appearance of warm currents of the coast of Peru in the eastern Pacific and affects weather in many places including India. El Nino is merely an extension of the warm equatorial current which gets replaced temporarily by cold Peruvian current or Humboldt current. This current increases the temperature of water on the Peruvian coast by 10 डिग्री सेल्सियस. देखो ये सवाल, हाँ ये हमारे इसमें पूछा गया था कि वो टेम्परेचर कितना होगा, तो मेरे को ढूंढ के नहीं मिला गूगल में. यहाँ पर देखो साफ साफ लिखा गया है कि दिस करंट, तो डेफिनेटली एनसीईआरटी में था, है ना. तो एनसीईआरटी बहुत ज़रूरी है भाई. आप एनसीईआरटी अगर पढ़ लिया तो मान लो आपका टीचिंग एग्जाम निकल जाएगा, कोई रोक नहीं पाएगा आपको, बट हाँ थोड़ी अच्छे से पढ़ना पड़ेगा, ठीक है. तो ये the distortion of equatorial atmospheric circulation. So this results in the distortion of equatorial atmospheric circulation, irregularities in the evaporation of seawater, reduction in the amount of planktons which further reduces the number of fish in the sea. The word El Nino means child Christ because the current appears around Christmas in December. December is a summer month in Peru. El Nino is used in India for forecasting large range monsoon rainfall. In 1990 to 91 there was a wild El Nino event and the onset of southwest monsoon was delayed over most parts of the country, ranging from 5 to 12 days. Break in the monsoon. During the southwest monsoon period, after having rains for a few days, it fails to occur for 1 or more weeks. It is known as break in the monsoon. The dry spells are quite common during the rainy season. These breaks in the different regions are due to different reasons. In northern India, rains are likely to fall in the rain-bearing storms are not very frequent along the monsoon trough or the ITCZ over this region. Over the west coast, the dry spells are associated with days when winds blow parallel to the coast. The rhythm of seasons. The climatic conditions of India can best be described in terms of an annual cycle of seasons. The meteorologists recognize the following 4 seasons: the cold weather season, the hot weather season, the southwest monsoon season, the retreating monsoon season. Some famous local storms of hot weather season. There is mango shower. Towards the end of summer, there are pre-monsoons तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, सार्स की कौन से स्टेट में होती है और क्या क्या किस में मदद होती है उस मैंगो सार के कौन सी, ठीक है। मैंगोज में ही तो आप नाम से जाना जा रहा है। तो ये केरला में होता है, कर्नाटक में होता है। लोकली दे आर नोन एज मैंगो सार सिंस दे हेल्प इन द अर्ली राइपनिंग ऑफ द मैंगोज। देन ब्लॉसम्स आर विद दिस आवर कॉफ़ी फ्लावर्स ब्लॉसम इन केरला एंड नियर बाई एरियाज। तो ब्लॉसम्स आर जो है ये कॉफ़ी फ्लावर को ब्लॉसम करने में मदद करता है। ब्लॉसम्स आर कॉफ़ी फ्लावर को ब्लॉसम करता है, ठीक है। ये केरला में मिलता है और हमारा मैंगो सार भी केरला एंड कर्नाटक में मिला गया होगा। नॉर्थ वेस्टर जो है दीज आर ट्रेडेड इवनिंग थंडरस्टॉर्म्स इन बंगाल एंड आसाम। नॉर्थ वेस्टर तो बंगाल एंड आसाम में दिखा जाएगा। देयर नोटोरियस नेचर कैन बी अंडरस्टूड फ्रॉम द लोकल नोमेनक्लेचर ऑफ काल बैशाखी, ए कैलामिटी ऑफ द मंथ ऑफ बैशाख इन वेस्ट बंगाल। दीज शावर्स आर यूजफुल फॉर टी, jute and rice cultivation. In Assam, these storms are known as Bardai Chila. Now, Loo, hot, dry and oppressing winds blowing in the northern plains from Punjab to Bihar with higher intensity between Delhi and Patna. ये लू बोलते इसको, ठीक है। तो हमने देखा मैंगो शावर का केरला कर्नाटक मैंगो की में के कल्टीवेशन में, राइपनिंग में, ब्लॉसम शावर कॉफ़ी फ्लावर की ब्लॉसम में केरला में देखा जाता है। नॉर्थ वेस्टर ये आपको बंगाल एंड आसाम में मिलेगा। आसाम में इसको बरदईचिला बोलते हैं, बंगाल में काल बैशाखी बोलते हैं। और लू ये आपका पंजाब एंड बिहार, पंजाब से लेकर बिहार तक आ जाता है। और दिल्ली एंड पटना इसके यहाँ पर बहुत इसका इंटेंसिटी हाई होता है। Now the cold weather season, so temperature usually the cold weather season sets in by mid-November in northern India. December and January are the coldest months in the northern plain. The mean daily temperature remains below 21 degrees Celsius over most parts of northern India. The night temperature may be quite low, sometimes going below freezing point in Punjab and Rajasthan. There are three main reasons for the excessive cold in North India during this season. States like Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan being far away from the moderating influence of sea experienced continental climate. Right, so states like Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan being far away from the moderating influence of sea experience continental climate, any extreme climate. The snowfall in the nearby Himalayan ranges creates cold wave situation, and around February the cold winds coming from the Caspian Sea and Turkmenistan bring cold wave along the with frost and fog over the northwestern parts of India. तो तुर्कमेनिस्तान एंड कास्पियन सी से वो लाते हैं नॉर्थ वेस्टर्न पार्ट में जो भी धूसर होती है। द पेनिनसुलर रीजन ऑफ इंडिया हाउएवर डज नॉट हैव एनी वेल डिफाइंड कोल्ड वेदर सीजन। तो पेनिनसुलर इंडिया में ऐसे कोई विंटर सीजन है नहीं। देयर इज हार्डली एनी सीजनल चेंज इन द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन पैटर्न, क्योंकि सी के पास ही लोकेटेड है ना, सी से तो इसलिए ज़्यादा दूर नहीं है। डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन पैटर्न ऑफ द टेम्परेचर इन कोस्टल एरियाज बिकॉज ऑफ मॉडरेटिंग इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ द सी एंड द प्रॉक्सिमिटी टू इक्वेटर। फॉर एग्जाम्पल द मीन मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर फॉर जनवरी एट त्रिवेंद्रपुरम इज as high as 31 degree Celsius and for June it is 29.5 degree Celsius. हाँ, जनवरी में ज़्यादा और जून में कम। टेम्परेचर एट द हिल्स ऑफ वेस्टर्न घाट्स रिमेन comparatively low. Okay, so pressure and winds. By the end of December, the sun shines vertically over the Tropic of Capricorn in the southern hemisphere. The weather in this season is characterized by feeble high pressure conditions over the northern plain. In South India, the pressure is slightly lower. The isobursts of 10-19 millibar and 10-13 millibar pass through northwest India and far south respectively. As a result, winds start blowing from northwestern high pressure zone to the low air pressure zone over the Indian Ocean in the south. Due to low pressure gradient, the light winds with a low velocity of 3 to 5 km per hour begin to blow outwards. By and large, the topography of the region influences the wind direction. They are westerly or northwesterly down the Ganga valley. They become northerly in the Ganga Brahmaputra delta, free from the influence of topography. They are clearly northeasterly over the Bay of Bengal. During the winters, the weather in India is pleasant. The pleasant weather conditions, however, at intervals get disturbed by shallow cyclonic depressions originating over the East Mediterranean Sea and traveling eastwards across West Asia, Iran, Afghanistan and Pakistan before they reach the northwestern parts of India. On their way, the moisture content gets augmented from the Caspian Sea in the north and the Persian Gulf in the south. Now, role of westerly jet stream. So, rainfall. Winter monsoon do not cause rainfall as they move from land to the sea. It is because firstly they have little humidity, and secondly due to anticyclonic circulation of land on land, the possibility of rainfall from them reduces. So most parts of India do not have rainfall in the winter season. However, there are some exceptions to it. In northwestern India, some weak temperate cyclones from from the Mediterranean Sea cause rainfall in Punjab, Haryana, Delhi and western Uttar Pradesh. Although the amount is meager, it is highly beneficial for rabi crops. The precipitation is in the form of snowfall in the lower Himalayas. It is this snow that sustains the flow of water in the Himalayan rivers during the summer months. The precipitation goes on decreasing from west to east in the plains and from north to south in the mountains. The average winter rainfall in Delhi is around 53 mm. In Punjab and Bihar, रेनफॉल रिमेंस बिटवीन 25 मिलीमीटर. देखो सबसे ज़्यादा दिल्ली में ही हो रहा है, तो विंटर में रेनफॉल 53, देन पंजाब एंड बिहार में 25 एंड 18 मिलीमीटर रेस्पेक्टिवली. बट इधर साउदर्न में पेनिनसुला में जो होती है ना, वो तमिलनाडु कोस्ट में, वो तो ज़्यादा होगा ना फिर. I hope. Now central parts of India, northern parts of southern peninsula also get winter rainfall occasionally. Arunachal Pradesh and Assam in the northeastern parts of India also have rains between 25 mm and 50 mm during the winter months. During October and November, northeast monsoon, while crossing over the Bay of Bengal, pick up moisture and causes torrential rainfall over Tamil Nadu coast, southern Andhra Pradesh, southeast Karnataka and Kerala. तो कर्नाटक, केरला, तमिलनाडु एंड आंध्र प्रदेश में बहुत सारा बारिश होती है, और जो दिल्ली नॉर्थन एंड ईस्टर्न पार्ट में थोड़ा कम होता है, थोड़ा मतलब बहुत ही कम होता है. नाउ द हॉट वेदर सीजन. टेम्परेचर with the apparent northward movement of the sun towards the Tropic of Cancer in March, temperatures start rising in North India. April, May and June are the months of summer in North India. In most parts of India, temperatures recorded are between 30 to 32 degrees Celsius. In March, the highest day temperature of about 38 degrees Celsius occurs in the Deccan Plateau, while in April, temperature ranging between 38 degrees Celsius and 43 degrees Celsius are found in Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. In May, the heat belt moves farther north, and in the northwestern part of India, temperatures around 48 degrees Celsius are not uncommon. The hot weather season in South India is mild and not so intense as found in North India. The peninsular situation of South India, with moderating effect of the oceans, keeps the temperatures lower than that prevailing in North India. So temperatures remain between 26 degrees Celsius and 32 degrees Celsius. Due to altitude, the temperatures in the hills of Western Ghats remain below 25 degrees Celsius. In the coastal regions, the north-south extent of isotherms parallel to the coast confirms that temperature does not decrease from north to south, rather it increases from the coast to the interior. The mean daily minimum temperature during the summer months also remains quite high and rarely goes below 26 degrees Celsius. Pressure and winds. The summer months are a period of excessive heat and falling air pressure in the northern half of the country. Because of the heating of the subcontinent, the ITCZ moves northwards, occupying a position centered at 25 degrees north in July. Roughly, this elongated low-pressure monsoon trough extends over the third desert in the northwest to Patna and Chhotanagpur Plateau in the east-southeast. The location of the ITCZ attracts a surface circulation of the winds which are southwesterly on the west coast as well as along the coast of West Bengal and Bangladesh. They are easterly or southeasterly over North Bengal and Bihar. It has been discussed earlier that these currents of southwesterly monsoon are in reality displaced equatorial westerlies. The influx of these winds by mid-June brings about a change in the weather towards the rainy season. In the heart of the ITCZ in the northwest, the dry and hot winds known as Lu blow in the afternoon, and very often they continue to well into midnight. Dust storms in the evening are very common during May in Punjab, Haryana, eastern Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh. These temporary storms bring a welcome respite from the oppressing heat, since they bring with them light rains and a pleasant cool breeze. Occasionally, the moisture-laden winds are attracted towards the periphery of the trough. A sudden contact between dry and moist air masses gives rise to local storms of great intensity. These local storms are associated with violent winds, torrential rains, and even hailstorms. The southwest monsoon season. As a result of rapid increase of temperature in May over the northwestern plains, the low pressure conditions over there get further intensified. By early June, they are powerful enough to attract the trade winds of southern hemisphere coming from the Indian Ocean. These southeast trade winds cross the equator and enter the Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea, only to be caught up in the air circulation over India. Passing over the equatorial warm currents, they bring with them moisture in abundance. After crossing the equator, they follow a southwesterly direction. That is why they are known as southwest monsoon. The rain in the southwest monsoon season begins rather abruptly. One result of the first rain is that it brings down the temperature substantially. This sudden onset of the moisture-laden winds associated with violent thunder and lightning is often termed as a break or burst of the monsoon. The monsoon may burst in the first week of June in the coastal areas of Kerala, Karnataka, Goa, and Maharashtra, while in the interior parts of the country it may be delayed to the first week of July. The day temperature registers a decline of 5 degrees Celsius to 8 degrees Celsius between mid-June and mid-July. As these winds approach the land, their southwesterly direction is modified by the relief and thermal low pressure over the northwest India. The monsoon approaches the landmass in two branches, the Arabian Sea branch and the Bay of Bengal branch. Monsoon winds of the Arabian Sea. The monsoon winds originating over the Arabian Sea further split into three branches. One branch is obstructed by the Western Ghats. These winds climb the slopes of the Western Ghats from 900 to 1200 meters. Soon they become cool and result the windward side of the Sahyadris and western coastal plain receive very heavy rainfall ranging between 250 cm and 400 cm. After crossing the Western Ghats, the winds descend and get heated up. This reduces humidity in the winds. As a result, these winds cause little rainfall east of the Western Ghats. This region of low rainfall is known as the rain shadow area. Another branch of the Arabian Sea monsoon strikes the coast north of Mumbai, moving along the Narmada and Tapi river valley. These winds cause rainfall in extensive areas of central India. The Chotnagpur plateau gets 15 cm rainfall from this part of the branch. Thereafter, they enter the Ganga plains and mingle with the Bay of Bengal branch. A third branch of this monsoon wind strikes the Saurashtra peninsula and the Kutch. It then passes over West Rajasthan and along the Aravallis, causing only a scanty rainfall in Punjab and Haryana. It too joins the Bay of Bengal branch. These two branches, reinforced by each other, cause rains in the western Himalayas. Monsoon winds of the Bay of Bengal. The Bay of Bengal branch strikes the coast of Myanmar and part of southeast Bangladesh, but the Arakan hills along the coast of Myanmar deflect a big portion of this branch towards the Indian subcontinent. The monsoon therefore enters West Bengal and Bangladesh from south and southeast instead of from the southwesterly direction. From here, this branch splits into two under the influence of the Himalayas and the thermal low is northwest India. Its one branch moves westward along the Ganga plains, reaching as far as the Punjab plains. The other branch moves up the Brahmaputra valley in the north and the northeast, causing widespread rains. Its sub-branch strikes the Garo and Khasi hills of Meghalaya. Mausindam, located on the crest of Khasi hills, receive the highest average annual rainfall in the world. Here it is important to know why the Tamil Nadu coast remains dry during this season. There are two factors responsible for it. The Tamil Nadu coast is situated parallel to the Bay of Bengal branch of southwest monsoon. It lies in the rain shadow area of the Arabian Sea branch of the southwest monsoon. तो समर में तमिलनाडु में कोई बारिश नहीं होते. Now, characteristics of monsoon rainfall. Rainfall received from the southwest monsoon is seasonal in character, which occurs between June and September. Monsoon rainfall is largely governed by relief or topography. For instance, the windward side of the Western Ghats registers a rainfall of over 250 cm. Again, the heavy rainfall in the northeastern states can be attributed to their hill ranges and the eastern Himalayas. The monsoon rainfall has a declining trend with increasing distance from the sea. Kolkata receives 119 cm during the southwest monsoon period, Patna 105 cm, Allahabad 76 cm, and Delhi 56 cm. The monsoon rains occur in wet spells of few days duration at a time. The wet spells are interspersed with rainless interval known as breaks. These breaks in rainfall are related to the cyclonic depressions mainly formed at the head of the Bay of Bengal, and they are crossing on into the mainland. Besides the frequency and intensity of these depressions, the passage followed by them determines the spatial distribution of rainfall. The summer rainfall comes in a heavy downpour leading to considerable runoff and soil erosion. Monsoons play a pivotal role in the agrarian economy of India because over 3/4 of the total rain in the country is received during the southwest monsoon season. Its spatial distribution is also uneven, which ranges from 12 cm to more than 250 cm. The beginning of the rains sometimes is considerably delayed over the whole or a part of the country. The rains sometimes end considerably earlier than usual. Causing great damage to standing crops and making the sowing of winter crops difficult. Season of retreating monsoon. The months of October and November are known as for retreating monsoons. By the end of September, the southwest monsoon becomes weak as the low pressure trough of the Ganga plain starts moving southward in response to the southward march of the sun. The monsoon retreats from the western Rajasthan by the first week of September. It withdraws from Rajasthan, Gujarat, western Ganga plain and the central highlands by the end of the month. By the तो रिट्रीट ऑफ मानसून कब होता है? अक्टूबर नवंबर में, ठीक है, ये इतना याद रखना, अक्टूबर नवंबर में रिट्रीट ऑफ मानसून होता है। इट विथड्रॉज देन बाय द बिगिनिंग ऑफ अक्टूबर द लो प्रेशर कवर्स नॉर्दर्न पार्ट्स ऑफ द बे ऑफ बंगाल एंड बाय अर्ली नवंबर इट मूव्स ओवर कर्नाटक एंड तमिलनाडु। बाय द मिडल ऑफ डिसम्बर द सेंटर ऑफ लो प्रेशर इज completely removed from the peninsula. The retreating southwest monsoon season is marked by clear skies and rise in temperature. The land is still moist owing to the conditions of high temperature and humidity. The weather becomes rather oppressive. This is commonly known as October heat. In the second half of October, the mercury begins to fall rapidly, particularly in northern India. The weather in the retreating monsoon is dry in North India, but it is associated with rain in the eastern part of the peninsula. Here, October and November are the rainiest months of the year. The widespread rain in this season is associated with the passage of cyclonic depressions which originate over the Andaman Sea and manage to cross the eastern coast of the southern peninsula. These tropical cyclones are very destructive. The thickly populated deltas of the Godavari, Krishna and Kapri are their preferred targets. Every year cyclones bring disaster here. A few cyclonic storms also strike the coast of West Bengal, Bangladesh and Myanmar. A bulk of the rainfall of the Coromandel coast is derived from these depressions and cyclones. Such cyclonic storms are less frequent in the Arabian Sea. Now distribution of rainfall. The average annual rainfall in India is about 125 centimeter, but it has great spatial variations. Areas of high rainfall. The highest rainfall occurs along the west coast on the western Ghats as well as in the sub-Himalayan areas is the northeast and the hills of Meghalaya. Here the rainfall exceeds 200 centimeter. In some parts of Khasi and Jaintia hills, the rainfall exceeds 1000 centimeter. In the Brahmaputra Valley and the adjoining hills, the rainfall is less than 200 centimeter. Areas of medium rainfall. Rainfall between 100 to 200 centimeter is received in the southern parts of Gujarat, East Tamil Nadu, northeastern peninsula covering Odisha, Jharkhand, Bihar, eastern Madhya Pradesh, northern Ganga plain, along the sub-Himalayas and the Kachar Valley and Manipur. So these are the season months according to Indian calendar, ठीक है, बंगाली मंथ की दिया हुआ है टेबल। चलो नाउ एरियाज ऑफ लो रेनफॉल, तो वेस्टर्न उत्तर प्रदेश, दिल्ली, हरियाणा, पंजाब, जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, ईस्टर्न राजस्थान, गुजरात एंड डेक्कन प्लेटू रिसीव रेनफॉल बिटवीन 50 to 100 centimeter. And areas of inadequate rainfall, parts of the peninsula especially in Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and Maharashtra, Ladakh and most of western Rajasthan receive rainfall below 50 centimeters. Snowfall is restricted to the Himalayan region, मतलब ओनली हिमालयन रीजन में ही स्नोफॉल होती है, बाकी कहीं नहीं होती है। ठीक है, तो हमने चैप्टर 3 पढ़ लिए और चैप्टर 4 को हम अगले वीडियो में देखेंगे। तब तक चैनल के साथ जुड़े रहेगा, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करके रखिएगा। एंड जो भी कमेंट आपका है, जो भी सजेशन है, कोई भी कुछ सजेशन है तो आप कमेंट करिएगा। थैंक यू फ्रेंड्स।